Hey, how y'all doing out there? I got some old crazy news for y'all. Kid Cudi showed up to court with a dress on, and the persecutors don't know what to do because they trying to prove that Cassie wasn't a freak on her own will. They want to make it seem like Diddy forced her to freak off and forced her to be with freaky men. But when she cheated on Diddy, she cheated with a man with a face full of makeup. And they saying that Kid Cudi a bigger freak than Diddy ever was. We ain't never seen Diddy get on stage with a dress on, a face full of makeup, singing ballads with Frank Ocean. And this the man that Cassie decided she wanted to mess with? He ain't gonna do nothing but blow the case wide open. Diddy gonna be going home and Cassie gonna be sitting in the jail cell pregnant. They got all these ex-co-workers that used to work for Diddy. They mad and complaining because he was black and they was Caucasian and they had to take orders from this man. You ain't seen not one black Diddy employee get up there and say nothing bad about this man. They was so mad they worked for Diddy, they couldn't even sleep at night. But it don't matter because Kid Cudi about to make this case go away.
Diddy Combs back in court today for day 8 of testimony in his sex trafficking trial.
It follows another day of more dramatic testimony in which prosecutors called Cassie Ventura's mother and a male escort known as the Punisher to the stand, as well as Diddy's former personal assistant. Let's get right to Good Day's Briella Tomasetti. She has been following this trial since it started last week. She has the latest from the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan. Briella, good morning.
Yeah, Tashani and Dan, good morning. The first to testify was that former personal assistant David James, who said that he prepared hotel rooms for freak-offs stocked with baby oil, lubricant, Viagra, and condoms. Next up was Regina Ventura, the mother of Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Cassie. Ventura testified that Diddy demanded $20,000 from her and threatened to release explicit sex tapes of her daughter after learning that she was dating someone else. The man she was seeing at the time, rapper Kid Cudi, could take the stand today or tomorrow after he too was called to testify about his brief relationship with Cassie and how Diddy allegedly tried to firebomb his convertible. Ventura said that she used a home equity loan to pay Diddy out of fear for her daughter's safety. Days later, she added the money was returned and Cassie was dating him again. Defense attorneys declined to cross-examine Ventura, but we heard from her lawyer outside the courthouse.
After all of the drama Diddy put her family through, she was gonna bring Kid Cudi home looking like something fresh out of Gotham City. He already threatened to blow up that man's car, had her mama go down to the Chinese restaurant, take all the equity out that thing, just so she could pay Diddy for a sex tape. And then Cassie can't get her act together. She's sleeping with personal trainers like them people ain't personally training everybody. Like she the only woman that her husband ever slept with at the gym. She sure know how to pick them. That's why this case ain't going nowhere. They all gonna have to face the fact that Cassie is the common denominator. Diddy was doing good before she came along. All the people that's testifying against this man ain't have nothing going on until they got with Diddy. Him, on the other hand, he was working with Mary J. Blige, working at Uptown Records, selling millions of records, producing music. He was doing any and everything you could think of to be a millionaire. But these people came in with their pants down, expecting him not to take whatever they was offering.
It went well. It was a relatively short direct examination, no cross-examination, so the government got out all the testimony that they needed, and the defense obviously felt that they didn't need to ask any questions, so it went very smoothly.
The jury also heard from Sheree Hayes, an exotic dancer known as the Punisher, who said he was hired to participate in Diddy's freak-offs. He said he arrived at a Manhattan hotel room expecting to perform a striptease for a small group of people, but walked in to find Cassie alone with Diddy, who was wearing a face covering. Hayes alleges he was instructed to have sexual encounters with Cassie and was paid with stacks of cash.
Maybe they need to hold Cassie responsible for having the Punisher come over there and not explaining to him what they wanted him to do. When he got there, he was surprised. He thought he was just going to be stripping for a female on her birthday and a whole bunch of her girlfriends, because that's what Cassie told that man on the phone. But when he got there, Cassie flipped the script. She came to the door with a bathrobe on, nothing on underneath, invited him in. I read the whole thing. He said he was nervous. He was scared. They didn't tell him what was going on until he got over there. She told him that She want for him to put baby oil all over his body. She put baby oil all over her body and let her husband watch from afar. And when they started doing what they was doing, he was putting that oil all over his body. They reenacted the Soul Glow commercial. Next thing you know, Diddy come over whacking, whacking Jack, whack, with a thing over his face so you couldn't see who he was. And that made the male stripper feel more uncomfortable. But it was Cassie that led him on. And I ain't saying she the only one responsible. Diddy just as nasty, but Cassie played along in it too.
Then Homeland Security agent Gerard Gannon testified about last year's federal raid at Diddy's mansion in Miami, mentioning that investigators rammed through the gate in an armored vehicle. They recovered AR-15s, high heels, lingerie, sex toys, and more. After Gannon's testimony, the jury was dismissed for the day. He returns back to the stand when court resumes this morning. For now, though, we're live here in Lower Manhattan. Dan and Tashani, back to you.
So much interest in this case. Briella, in this trial, better yet. Briella, thank you for that report.
It really ain't no interest in this case or this trial. We being force-fed this stuff. It ain't nothing else to eat. We ain't got that many options. Ain't that much news that interests people that don't want to take things seriously. It used to be a bunch of comical news out there. What happened to the National Enquirer when they was exposing any and everybody? Why Diddy the only National Enquirer out here today? What's going on with Denzel Washington? Didn't he snap on somebody on the red carpet? What he got going on in his personal life? They need to bring back some fun news, some more entertainment. They trying to make Diddy the pun of all jokes. We ready for something else. Who else they got out there? They need another Johnny Depp trial. What he got going on? What he did lately? I'm about sick of it. But as far as this Diddy situation go, I'm so sick of saying that man's name. I'm going to just start calling him Puffy again. One thing for sure, Kid Cudi about to get up there and say what he got to say. And I know for sure, he ain't gonna do nothing but make Cassie look like a bigger freak.
All right, let's go to New York now, where rapper Kid Cudi is expected to take the stand in Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial. Kid Cudi is set to testify tomorrow about his brief relationship with Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, back in 2011. Prosecutors say Combs was so upset about that relationship, he had Cudi's convertible blown up by a firebomb. So today in court, Combs' former assistant George Kaplan took the stand. The jury also heard from a special agent and a psychologist. CBS News national correspondent Jerika Duncan joining us live now. Hi, Jerika. Tell us about what happened in court today. A lot to unpack there.
Yeah, exactly. And every day it seems like there's a lot to unpack. It was a Homeland Security special agent, Gerard Gannon, who testified today and was able to show the jurors pictures and actual evidence that they found from the home of Sean Combs in Miami. So they showed pictures of red heels. Apparently he had 18 pairs of platform shoes. They showed some of the images in his master bedroom closet of sex toys. Then they showed that there were Balenciaga boots that he had with 3 cell phones stuffed in one of those boots, as well as several drugs. They showed pictures of pills, blue, pink, white, yellow, orange, black. And then they told the jurors that they were able to test the substances, and they tested positive for MDMA, ketamine, cocaine, methamphetamine. So again, we heard more about the drugs, but then we were able to actually see the evidence that the jurors were able to take in.
They exposing his personal stash. Who ain't got a personal stash or something? That's your personal business, regardless of what it is. The world ain't got to know about it. You got smoke shops, sex shops, people go in there and buy things and put it away. People got kids. He ain't about to leave his guns out in the open. He ain't about to leave them drugs out in the open. He ain't about to leave all that porn stuff out in the open. He a grown-ass man. On top of that, he a millionaire. Y'all gotta let me know. Do y'all think they going overboard with this stuff? Because they ain't stopping no time soon. It seems like somebody need to come out and say, hey, stop the madness. What about Cassie? What she got in her stash right now? She came up on 30 mil. I'm pretty sure she planned on doing a little something when she dropped that baby. Hopefully she ain't like Beyonce and be messing around while she pregnant. That's the rumor out there. I don't believe that stuff about B. But they saying that she couldn't hold off for them 9 months. But that's Negro here nor there. We gonna talk about that on another video.
We also heard from an expert, a forensic psychologist and clinical psychologist expert, Dr. Dawn Hughes. She was used to sort of set the scene of what to expect from a domestic violence victim or someone who's experienced sexual assault. So she spoke directly to the jurors, really, almost as if she was speaking to them as if they were the only ones in the room, explaining some of the characteristics of a victim of sexual assault or domestic violence, how many of them will suppress memories, and how things may become more clear for people later on, years after they've had that experience. And this really speaks to Cassie Ventura's testimony last week when she talked about why she decided to come forward in November of 2023 with that civil lawsuit, which really sort of jump-started this criminal investigation. So a lot was covered today. Again, the former assistant to Sean Combs was testifying. He'll come back and testify tomorrow. He was his assistant from 2013 to 2015, but a lot of people wanting to hear from Scott Muscady, aka Kid Cudi, as you mentioned at the beginning of this report.
Yeah, absolutely. Jerika Duncan. Jerika, thank you.
Y'all gotta let me know in the comment section why y'all think Cassie attract these type of men that's into all these freaky type of things. Diddy ain't the only weirdo that she was dealing with. Kid Cudi just as bad. And besides, who cares at the end of the day? If that's how she want to live her life, that's how she want to live it. If she had freak offs and things back in the day, she wouldn't be the only one. It's people out here 60, 70, 80 years old still freaking off in the nursing home. When you grown, who gonna discipline you? You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section. I got so much love for y'all. Make sure y'all do me a favor. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Hit that like button, share the video, hit that notification button. And one more thing, subscribe to my channel if that's what you want.
Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want. But if that's not what you like, then you must be a punk. Hold on now, here we go. Who is this girl? She got that junk in her trunk. Baby girl, back it up, poke out your rump. It's S.A.T. that you want.